So I did a video for my other channel. Yes, I have another channel. It's called Cornhole Noob. I'll put it in the comments. You can subscribe if you want to. About getting sponsorships using some knowledge I've learned in the fishing industry over these last 10 or 12 years. But I realized I never shared that information or have made a video like that for my actual fishing YouTube channel. So I'm gonna bring in that video. You're gonna hear me mention the other sport a few times, but the information is still the same, and let you guys see it. Let me know what you think at the end. Before you click off of here, because you say, hey, this is Cornhole Noob. He's been doing this a year. This guy doesn't know anything about getting sponsors. I want to refer back. If you've seen any of my other videos, I've been involved with a even smaller niche sport for over a dozen years, which is kayak fishing. There'll be some pictures coming across the screen here. I've had many relationships with sponsors. I still have current relationship with sponsors over on that side of things with that sport, including one right here on my hat. But I'm going to use that experience to show you how you can get some cornhole sponsors to help with your journey towards pro status, or just your journey across the country having fun playing the game of cornhole, playing the game you love. So sponsorships are sponsorships. It's all the same across whatever activity that you're into, especially across all the niche or niche sports. I never say the word right. Is it niche or niche? Tell me in the comments. But cornhole, kayak fishing, pickleball, disc golf, I almost said frisbee golf, bowling, whatever. I mean, some of those are bigger than others, but you get what I'm saying. Sponsors are attracted to certain players, certain organizations, whatever, within those activities or sports for one basic reason. And that is, what value can you as the individual give to that sponsor? And I think the number one thing I see out there, I've seen a lot of posts on the cornhole pages about how do I get sponsors? Is it worth it to the sponsors to sponsor players, and so on and so on. I see that on the Addicted to Cornhole forum and other forums out there. And I think the biggest problem is people approach it the wrong way. They're like, hey, how can I get free bags? How can I get a discount on bags? How can I get money to help me go to tournaments? I want to go to Worlds. I want to do all these things. How do I get? And the number one thing you can do as somebody wanting to get sponsors is ask what you can give to that particular company. They are looking for value in what you can bring to the table for them. Now, of course, it's a two-way street. You don't want to just get railroaded into giving away influence or marketing power for free. It's a two-way street. But the way to approach that as the individual is you got to figure out how you can offer or sell value to that sponsor you're looking for first. What can I do for you? If you approach it that way, sponsors will, number one, be much more likely to want to even talk to you to begin with. You're going to start that relationship out on the right foot. So, okay, you want to offer them value. How do you even give value to a prospective partner or sponsor? A couple ways of doing that. Of course, you can win some events. That's always good. Get on podiums. I mean, but there's only a handful of folks that are good enough to get on the main court on the live streams, or especially even make the main courts on the ESPN and CBS streams, things like that. Winning locally and regional helps, but that really, the only eyes on that are your local and regional people that are there at those events. So the number one way you can give value to me is what I'm doing right here. I'm on YouTube, but social media. Social media is the best way not only to give value back to your sponsors in terms of eyes on and exposure to their products, etc., but it's the best way you can measure it to show them what value you can bring. I mean, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, whatever you choose, Instagram, you can measure engagements, views, likes, followers, subscribers. You can measure that and say, hey, this is what I can offer you per week, per month, per year, per post, whatever, to show what kind of value you can bring to those sponsors through your social media, through your marketing influence. If you're not big into social media, there's other ways. Like I said, you can win tournaments and just kind of be that guy that just quiet assassin, silent assassin, just winning tournaments. But you can also work behind the scenes. I mean, I see a lot of opportunities out there for reps and things like that, and that's kind of a job. But if you are a brand loyalist and you can work out some deals with different brands as a tournament director to include their brands in marketing, include their brands on site for sale, work trade shows for them, work booths for them at big major events. There's some other behind the scenes stuff you can do as well to help offer value to a prospective partner or sponsor. So let's talk about the number one, which is social media. How do you use social media to get or acquire or even maintain sponsor relationships? There's a right and wrong way. I mean, social media is not magic. You can't just post and put 1,000 hashtags and then the sponsors are just going to come raining from the sky. You can't do that. You have to build a social media first. And the best way to do that is be authentic. Don't try to be a social media clown that just tries to make videos and pictures for likes and clicks and all that. If you're an entertaining person and funny and all that, well, do all that. That's awesome. I mean, that's needed. But be authentic. Be true to yourself. If you're just an excellent player, show your excellent games and your high scores and your trick shots or whatever. Show that. Or if you're a good teacher, teach on your social channels. If you're both, do both. But be authentic to yourself, and it'll come through on your videos, pictures, or whatever you're doing on social media. Some other ways you can help, and this isn't just social media, but also just in general, is practice your public speaking or speaking to a camera or whatever. Because even on the folks that don't have big social medias, when you watch ESPN or CBS, there's several times where I've caught folks when they've won a huge tournament, won a major, big ACL major or something, and they interview them after the fact and like, hey, what did that mean to you to win that tournament? Or what was the key to you winning that event? And they just look at the lady frozen and say, well, I just threw as many bags as I could, and that was it. And then that's the end of it.
We're real happy with what was going on, and
so no personality comes out, nothing, and that's natural. There's nothing. I'm not making fun of them. That's just natural. But the only way to get over that is to practice it. So turn your phone on, record yourself talking, practice talking to your wife. I don't know, but being a better public speaker is going to help more sponsors be willing to reach out to you and say, oh yeah. If we're partnering with this guy or girl, they can actually elaborate on our product, talk to people about our product, be comfortable on camera about our product, and they're going to be much more apt to want to build something with you. You can also practice taking photos. I mean, taking quality photos isn't that hard anymore. We all carry a super computer in our pocket everywhere we go, and you can take product photos and videos with your phone. They are better than most cameras that have ever been made up until this point. I mean, 10 years ago, there's no camera that 10 years ago that could touch most iPhones and Galaxies today. But you can practice taking photos, practice editing photos. Online, you can get familiar with so many different photo editors that are just basically click and fix and crop and whatever. I mean, no time at all. A few minutes, you can knock out some great photos, put them on your social media, and look like a pro. Something else you can do is practice your writing skills. Even if it's just a sentence or two for that Facebook post or the YouTube description or whatever, you want it to sound professional and coherent. Or if you're writing an email to a prospective sponsor or whatever, you want to sound professional, sound like you know what you're talking about. And if you're not a good writer, frankly, I mean, everybody knows about AI. There's an AI boom going on right now. There's tons of AI programs that you can use to actually just write you up a description or write you up an email, and you can add your own little nuance to it and clean it up before you hit send or hit post. So that's a few ways you can add value to show prospective sponsors, and then make sure for yourself that you set what value you expect back. If you need cash money to travel because you're a high level advanced or pro player, well, then that's what your expectation needs to be. You don't want to settle for a 15% discount on bags. If you've been playing for a few months, a year, or you haven't had that much success yet, you don't have a huge social media following yet, but there's a favorite brand that you somehow can build a relationship with, you can start small and build up. Maybe they just offer you a product discount to start. Then maybe it's free product. Then maybe it's free product and some cash support to do tournaments. Whatever the case may be. Make sure you build a baseline and set yourself an expectation of value back to yourself before you start any kind of negotiation with a potential sponsor. On the fishing side, we call folks that just take any offer that comes to them, we call them patch pirates. They just want anything. They want to load those fishing jerseys up with as many little logos as they can, and there's not anything necessarily wrong with that, but for the purpose of this video, we're talking about real sponsorship support and a sponsor relationship where you believe in the product, they believe in you, you're both trying to build each other up. That's what we're talking about here. So yeah, there you go, guys. I can go deeper into this in other videos because, like I said, I've had multiple relationships with multiple fishing companies over the year. I still have quite a few. I've got a YouTube channel and some other social media. I've got a fishing podcast that I do every week. I've built some great relationships with different sponsors through those avenues. I have not even attempted to do anything on the cornhole side yet, but hey, coming soon, maybe 2023, 2024. I hope to really actually chase points on the ACL, probably do a few ACO events, play more locally, things like that. So I may be out there looking to try to get a little sponsor support. But regardless, let me leave you with this. The main thing is, whether you're, especially if you're not on the pro level, make sure you even make those sponsor relationships fun, because we all have real jobs. You don't want to turn it into a second job to where it's just grinding you down and you feel all these huge obligations. When you get a real sponsor, they're gonna have a list of deliverables for you that they expect from you. So make sure you agree with those before you sign up for it, because you don't want to get yourself into a second job just for support for your hobby. But you definitely want to still honor your commitments and give good value back. But if you can have fun while you're doing it, now you got the best of both worlds. All right, I hope this video gave you guys some value, and hopefully you can use some of these tips to go out there and find some sponsors for yourself. I'll catch y'all next time.